Hey everyone, Dave here with Affordable Door and Gate. Hope you're doing well. I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about what I can teach you guys. And I was thinking about it. I thought to myself, we should talk about some vehicles and some of the things I encountered. Because vehicles are very expensive. Very. There was a point, I remember I was just talking to the guy that runs my business. And I was explaining to him that I said, what are you going to do? I said, are you going to keep the vehicle or are you going to rotate them out? He's not quite sure yet. But I told him, I said, here's the thing. I said, what I ran into one time, what I didn't know in business, and I'm trying to teach you in business. A lot of the big dogs, a lot of people in general that I didn't know, you want to have fixed expenses. What do you mean you want to have fixed expenses? Well, you want to have fixed expenses. I think that's why I'm customized into my life, that I don't like surprises. I despise surprises. I don't want gifts. I don't like gifts. I don't like surprises. I hate them. I think business did that to me. Because with a business, right, when you're running business and you're fully engaged and you got families and mouths to feed, you don't like surprises. You don't like a phone call. Hey, boss, motor. I remember one time I had this guy's name, what was that kid's name? He was a good dude. Anyways, I can't remember. I'm not very good with names. Anyways, he was working for me. And he goes out to a place that's a busy area for our area. And I get a phone call. Hey man, I'm on the side of the road. The truck's making all kinds of noise. What do I do? And I can hear cars. Vroom, vroom, vroom. He's like on the bridge. It's like an S curve. It's called GR. It's a very busy area in our area, a ways away. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, what do I, And of course, see, I had a different mindset back then too, right? Instead now, I'd say, oh, we're calling a tow truck. Because as silly as it sounds, I'm not putting my life on the line out there. You know what I mean? Now, I don't want him out there either. You know what I mean? I don't want him getting hurt or killed or injured or anything, right? I'm sending a tow truck. See, but my mind frame back then would have been, oh my gosh, I got to either go borrow a trailer. I need to go out there with a tow strap. I got to, Business is like the mafia, right? It's like those people, you're sitting there smoking that cigar, right? And you got to go, let me think about this. You know what I mean? Like, it's very methodical. And I didn't know that, right? To me, it was like a rabbit, I don't know how to say it. Hop, skip, and a do, you know what I mean? Rabbit do do do. So it was like just 100 miles an hour, right? I'll be there, I'll go there, right? No. One thing, I try to keep the channel somewhat clean. But, there's this saying my dad told me one time, piss poor planning, piss poor results. There's a lot of truth to that. A lot of truth. I find that a lot of times. That's why I write a lot of stuff down. Anyways, back to the vehicles. We got to the second or third month in, right? With business, you typically start your fiscal year starts at January and you go to December, right? We get 3 months in. Wife tells me at one point, she says, I think we can afford a van payment. Well, I think we had we had 4 or 5 vehicles we were running at the time with employees. And I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, well, she's like, we were sitting around $10,000 in repairs. And I'm like, now that's just not for one vehicle, that's across the board. But I remember this now, at the time it was just it was just normal, right? But at the time we were taking our trucks in, right, to my mechanic. I remember my mechanic stopping by the shop one day on a weekend. He brought me a box of donuts and he was like, you're the best customer, thank you for your business, and I'm just like, oh, okay, thanks, Rick, you're a good dude, whatever, and he is a great dude. He's awesome. He's a great mechanic. But I remember thinking to myself, oh my God, I'm giving this guy all this business. And the problem was, it wasn't so much, I didn't want to give him the business. He was a great dude. He has a great family, great heart. But the problem was the downtime, right? Because now you got to take an employee, right? And you got to go down there. And then it's they're always looking, right? They're always itching to find something wrong, right? So you get it back, the heater blower, and they're like, it's still not blowing right, and it's like, jeez. All right, we'll take it down there tomorrow. We'll try again. Now you got a vehicle out of service, and you got customers you got to take care of, good paying customers. So now what do? Do you rent a vehicle? I mean, it's just like the list goes on and on. So if you lease a vehicle or you buy a brand new vehicle, you typically, not always, you typically just have a car payment, which is a fixed expense, is what is nice about it. Think about it. It's fixed. You know what it's going to be every month. Instead of all of a sudden 2 weeks into it, right? Somebody calls you, especially, this is like more or less if you got employees. If you're a one-man band, fix your stuff. Keep it going. You know what I mean? Don't get into all that stuff. But then, you know, the transmission goes out. Well, there's $4,000 that you weren't expecting. Surprise! Oh my gosh. Now the vehicle's down, right? So now it's not being productive. So there's all these things. And I think what really clicked with me one time is my uncle told me about how Service Pro, it's a place that does like fire restoration cleaning around here, you know, big company. It works for insurance, only pretty much insurance, pays, they get the big bucks. Well, I remember with the business, they were like, they didn't own the building that they're in. And I was like, I can't believe that. I know they got the money. I mean, they're always buying new vehicles. They got 20 or 50 vehicles, you know, they got nice vehicles. I mean, like, they got the money. I can't believe that. It's because they want a fixed expense. Does that make sense? Like, they don't want, if the roof starts leaking, to go, they got to get a contractor, and then they go, hey, it's going to be, they just want to know they pay, you know, $2,000 or $3,000 a month to own this, to rent this building, because my uncle was a friend that owned the building. And the guy even tried, he passed away now, unfortunately. He tried selling it to him. And they were like, no, we're good. We just want to lease it. You know what I mean? And so it's a different mindset. I think the one time I ever heard this, and I just want to tell you this because you might not hear this. You might not have an Uncle Dave like me. And what it was is, I thought about, like, I remember when I heard it like an airplane. Do you want to own an airplane? Do you? Do you want to own an airplane? No, you don't want to own an airplane. You want to ride an airplane. You want to use an airplane. You want to go to the trips and you want to go to the vacations or you want to go on your destination, right? But you don't want to take care of it. You don't want to fuel it. You don't want to maintain it. You don't want to store it, right? That's expensive. No. You have to think of a lot of things like that in life, business. Do you really want to own it? You know what I mean? Now you got to take care of it. No, I just want to use it. So that's why sometimes, like, you have to use a balance between renting equipment or owning. You have to think very long term. You got to think methodical. All right, I got to go. I got a tow truck coming, maybe. See ya.